Ada Anagho Brown is a native of Cameroon, Africa. She came to the United States in 1975. Ada has always embraced who she is. The move to the United States did not strip away any of her Africanness. It was a sense of self which she longed for African Americans to have. Ada's life in the United States has been dedicated to promoting Africa. For several years, she worked with children in the non-profit sector, helping to uplift communities through music and culture. But for the past 3 years, Ada has been living her dream of connecting African Americans of all ages to their African roots. She does this through her business, Roots to Glory Tours. Roots to Glory bridges the gaps between African Americans and their African origins. Roots to Glory guides, introduces, and becomes a part of the discovery and reconnection for African Americans as they embrace their long-lost families. Roots to Glory actually travels African Americans to Africa so they may reconnect with their African roots. Many of the individuals who tour with Roots to Glory have traced their DNA back to Africa. Roots to Glory takes them to exactly where their DNA leads. For most African Americans who have known nothing except for the United States, this trip is life-changing, and it transforms how they identify themselves.
The important thing that I wanted people to know is that Africans, when they came to the colonies, and they came to the Caribbean, and they came to South America, they were one somebody to somebody. They were kings and queens, and they were prince and princesses. And I want them to still have that sense of being somebody special. People land in the continent, they don't know what to expect, and the first minute that people come up to them and say, "Welcome home," it is just, it sends chills down your arms, because it's such an amazing feeling that you think that you're not going to be welcome. You've been looking and searching for your family for so many years, and you finally find that place, that special place in that continent where you know you belong, and you see walking down the street somebody that looks like your cousin or your grandmother or cousin Pooh or cousin what, and then you start making jokes because, oh my gosh, this is where I belong. This is where my family came from. And it's just an amazing feeling, amazing feeling. We had one young student that I did not mention in my speech. He's 13 years old, lives in the ghettos of Washington, D.C. And for the 2 weeks before the trip, he had not gotten his passport. The lady who runs the foundation and I had decided that we were going to especially embrace him, because we could have at that point said, you know what, you don't have your passport, you don't have your visa, we're not sure if you're going to make it. What we said instead was that we're going to embrace this young man, we're going to make sure that he goes, no matter what we have to do. So we did, and he didn't even get his visa. He got his passport 3 days before Christmas. By luck, by chance. And then he got his visa the day before Christmas. So the last hour that the embassy was closing, the ambassador said, "I'll wait for you guys, come and get his visa so that he can make it on this trip." And that's what we did. And this young man, his life changed forever. He cried on the way back from Cameroon. He has changed his life. He's focused on his studies, on getting good grades, on being with the right group of people, because before he was immersed in this culture of, drugs and violence, and he was hanging out with the wrong kids, and we were scared for him. But he came back from Cameroon, he's like, "I am an ambassador. I met with kings in Cameroon. I am a strong black man, strong black boy, a 28-year-old king that has a lot on his shoulder." This man has a whole village that he runs. His father passed away, and he took on the responsibility at 18. So he's now 28. So for 10 years, he's been king. He said to those young people, "You have an obligation. Your ancestors are watching. You have an obligation to succeed. And so he has kept that. And so now he's thinking, how do I make him proud? How do I make them proud of me? And that's what he does every single day. He makes us all proud of him.
So the sooner, the better
Yes.
for our children.
African Americans have a gift that they don't even know they have. When it comes to Africa, they're still, because Africa is still so young, and I mean, the average age of an African is 25. So Africa is still a little timid when it comes to dealing with Europeans, whereas African Americans are like, this is not how you're going to treat me. This is how you're going to treat me. So I feel like African Americans have something to give. It's like an empowerment to the Africans. Africans are confident themselves.
Yes.
But African Americans, when it comes to dealing with outsiders, are more confident than Africans. And so I feel like if they come back and they both come together, they can give each other so much as far as, empowerment is concerned.